My mom would have slapped me. Okay.
Welcome and welcome back to Federal Comma Podcast, where Liz and I discuss everything bookish and other things, but mostly books. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate it. So this episode, we are going to be discussing, what is the name of this book? Cass, Surrender to Love. I just realized that's his name. So the book was about him. So Liz was asking me to put her on to a good hood novel because I find so much joy in a good hood novel. And this is the book that we read together. We both hadn't read it before. We have our notes. My notes are on my phone. She has stuff written down. And we're going to talk about it. You ready? Let's get started.
I'm ready.
A brief synopsis, Liz. Go.
Basically, this one dude, he only looks for women for pleasure. Only. Like, he doesn't even kiss them. Like, It literally, come in, this is what I want, let's get it done. Okay, out. Like, Then she is a single mother, who also has her own, they're both psychologists.
Yep.
They both have their own practices. Well, he has a practice, she has a business, and of course, they're going to find each other and fall in love and all of that great stuff. But there's so much drama.
So much drama. And it's great.
Such a little amount of pages.
Yeah, it was only 271 pages, which honestly, for you to have put all of that in 271 pages, great job.
Yeah, but I don't even know where to start.
So we'll start at the beginning. So
Cassius Knight.
Cassius.
Wow, Yeah.
Cassius. His mama named him Cassius. I'm gonna call him Cassius.
You got
That's
that.
how I remember it.
Got that.
Cassius Knight. I love it because it's a hood novel, but they actually elevated more, but they still know hood people, you know? So it's still death. It's still
I mean, so easily.
Like, oh, you pissed me off, die.
In the middle of a church or a community center, I was like, all these people,
and nobody,
and you give no F's that everybody witnessed this murder. Don't care.
I didn't see nothing. Stevie Wonder in this thing.
I didn't read anything.
Yeah, I'm Stevie Wonder in here. I ain't see nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't read nothing.
I'm telling you.
I wasn't even there.
So Cassius, and he speaks to people very disrespectfully. It's not even just women. He just speaks to people disrespectfully.
Okay, that's another thing. Everybody's so effing hostile, like so aggressive for no reason. Guys, like, oh yeah, it's a nice day outside. Why are you talking to me like that? Like, it's a nice day.
Yeah. Yes, I love it. Isn't it great?
It definitely kept me like, I don't know how many times, and it's ridiculous, but you just can't stop.
Yes, because it's so outlandish. It would never happen in real life. It makes for a great read.
And I just want to point out that this author definitely liked power.
Yes.
Okay, Phantom.
Yeah.
Phantom. He owns a club.
I didn't even put that together. I was just thinking
Lala, the best friend, Lala. And she must have not liked Tasha.
You are right. She was not a fan of Tasha. Oh,
Neither
snap.
was I.
Oh, snap.
I like once midway through the book, I'm like,
yeah.
So this must be Tommy. Cass is Tommy.
Right. We're black.
Anyways, back to the book, y'all.
So he's just incredibly disrespectful. He only knows Phantom. Phantom is his best friend. They grew up together. When his parents died, his mom died. Who
was amazing. Community pillar.
Yeah. His mom died. His dad went to, what did he go to jail for?
Okay, so the mom passed away she committed suicide, not to have to deal with the dad anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the dad, from what I gathered, got into other relationships and he just effed up the wrong person and ended up
I totally missed that part of the book. I don't know what he was in jail for. I just know he was in prison.
Yeah. It finally all caught up to him.
Yeah.
From what Cass said.
And so he essentially is he's hurt. And even though he's a psychologist, like he should know better, he's hurt. He hasn't dealt with his own stuff, which honestly, the fact that he had his own psychologist to deal with, I feel like a lot of psychologists have their own psychologist. But he dealt with a lot of crap, which just turned him off of people outside of Phantom, because again, Phantom is the person that took him in. Him and his mom and his family, they took him in when his mom died and his dad went to prison. So that's all he had. His brother left, which was heartbreaking because I know his brother left, but I didn't realize it until they went to the mom's memorial and he was like, I haven't seen my brother in 20 years. And I was like, wait,
20 years.
You've been FaceTiming him like he has not come home since the mom died. Which was a whole
grieving. I want to know more about the brother.
I do. I was hoping that she would have another book because I'm like,
I think so. Because a lot of these little rom-coms that we've been reading, they've been doing spinoffs. But...
So he essentially is just hurt all around. And no one is saying that it's okay to speak to people like that or treat people poorly. That's just how he coped with it. When he was at his office and he was helping people, he was very professional outside of Tasha.
No. And
Zuri.
Aiden. First of all, we can't even, because we just talked about 3 different situations. Is he really professional?
Yo, but the way he dealt with Tasha at the end.
Listen. And then they didn't even touch on it after that. Like, did you tell? Did you tell her? Did you? Hey, yo, I just, your mom came over.
To the grave, so I
just dropped her in the middle of my office. I couldn't take it anymore.
So Tasha is what's her name? Dylan's mother. Dylan's
mom. She's a hot mess.
Love interest. Yeah.
Tasha is basically the root of all of Dylan's trauma. Like, there is no other way around it. Well, but her dad, you find out later on, her dad, because he didn't look for them as hard as she thought he should, he contributed. But the mom, basically prostituted her Dylan out for drugs to pay her debts off and all of that. At 9, yeah.
She was a drug addict, so that's what she did to pay to get her drugs.
And then Dylan still, throughout the book, she was always looking for her mom's love and would give her mom money, pay off debts and all this stuff. It was a hot mess. And at the end of the book, she went to Cass's office and started threatening him.
And Cass was like, who are you talking to?
Did not end well for her. Unalive.
He said, she said something that made him upset and just went to the temple and called his homeboy Phantom. Was like,
I actually wrote a note about that. Hold on, let me find it. Consulting my Kindle. One moment, please. He just said, I let one loose catching her in the temple. I was like, oh.
And at first, when I read it, I thought he meant he clocked her.
Me too.
2,000
Yeah.
I
years
don't know how many times I
later.
read that sentence.
Yeah.
Like, did he just? And my dumb behind isn't like, just keep reading because you'll find out. No, I just kept looking at the sentence like,
Yeah, I did the same
he
thing.
punched her?
Yeah, I was like, he punched her in the temple?
Like, damn, why not just you trying to kill her? And sure enough, he
He
wasn't
didn't try,
trying.
he did it.
He succeeded.
He just let one loose. I was like, my God. And then tells his secretary, give everybody a bonus for their inconvenience.
Sir.
You just gonna go home to your girlfriend? You just murked her
And
mom?
how much do you trust these employees that you know this bonus is just gonna keep them quiet?
I'm pretty sure they know who they're messing with too. Who they work for.
This author did not waste time getting into the brown chicken, brown cow.
Did not. It's
Page
like
8.
first
I
3
noted
pages.
it. Page 8.
Yep.
Page 8. My
He's doing
note.
it with his,
Holy caca. Already. Sir, I just.
Yep. With the secretary. So he has a secretary. I thought she was going to be a problem.
Me too.
I actually ended up liking her.
Me too. I was like, this is the one that's going to cause all the drama.
Yeah.
But the one who caused all the drama, holy crap, that bomb at the end.
Like, where did that come from?
I did not see that coming.
God.
I think I wrote it.
So he is psycholizing. It's not a word, but we're gonna run with it. One of his patients, her name is Aiden, and she is a sex addict. And so he was like, "Well, bet." Since you a sex addict, let's go.
After every session, and sometimes outside of sessions.
Yep. And then she ends up pregnant. And so at that point, he is given what's her name? What is her name? Dylan. I don't know why Dylan can't stick in my mind. He is giving Dylan a chance. So he takes her out to dinner, and he's very forthcoming with the information. He's like, look, this is what's going on. I possibly have a baby on the way.
She did give him that safe space. He needed to speak with his psychologist. She was on vacation, or he was on vacation, whatever. So he ends up calling the hotline that Dylan owns.
Yep.
And she's the one that's working. She gets the call. She has no idea it's him. No idea. She's just listening. She's like, oh my God. And here goes what the F is wrong with a lot of us women.
He just needs me to save him.
This man is so hurt.
I'm going to love him to better
so
himself.
Much. But she did the damn thing.
She did.
She did it. So he ends the call abruptly, whatever. Then her friend Lala is like, which is cool as hell. I love Lala. She did get me mad at one point, and we'll talk about that. But Lala's like, girl, it's Phantom's birthday. We got to go out. Party. And she's like, girl, I don't like to go out. I don't like to go out. Lala's like, girl, you need to get dressed, and we going out. And she's like, okay, fine. That's me. That is me.
Mm-hmm. That's the both of us, because I'd be like,
yeah, to get us to go out.
Like on purpose?
But we have a great time when we get there. It's just...
Getting there is the problem.
Yeah. And I will be so excited about plans 2 months in advance. The closer
the day of, it's like...
And it's nothing about the plans. It's just...
interacting.
Just the... getting up and getting ready and making... Anyways. But, so... Sure enough, when they get there, he's there. Oh, no, we forgot the pharmacy! I was like, I don't want to keep reading a book if this is how he's going to be coming out. So he goes to the pharmacy because he's starting to have an anxiety attack. He doesn't have any more pills. He can't see a psychologist.
Yes, he takes Eferoxer.
Say it again?
Eferoxer. That's how
F her off. Because that's what the hell he did at the end. He just, anyway.
Effexor, y'all. Effexor.
Is that a real medicine?
Yes, I had to Google it.
Oh,
It's an
see, I didn't
antidepressant.
even get that far because I automatically was like, that ain't real.
It's an antidepressant and a nerve pain medication. It can treat depression, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and social anxiety disorder.
I feel like a pharmacy.
Which makes sense about how he acted in the club when he met her, because he had took it and then was
I
drinking.
didn't even think about that, about the pills and the alcohol. That just went over my head.
So I'm sorry, we're jumping all over the place. So the initial meetup was them in the pharmacy. He went to the pharmacy to go get pills, a refill. He ran out because his psychologist was on vacation. And while he was there, a little boy comes.
No, he went to get the refills because he didn't have any more. He found out that she was on vacation when he needed to talk.
Yes. So he called her first, and then when he couldn't get a hold of her, that's when he was like, I needed some pills. And then he was like, dang, I don't have any pills. Let me go to the pharmacy. So he went to the pharmacy, and then Dean runs up crying to him and latches onto his leg. And he has a thing for kids, y'all. He loves children. Yeah. Cutest thing ever. And he's like, why are you crying? So he's like, my mom wants me to get a shot. And she's yelling at him, come over here. And his thing is parents being mean or rude to their children because of what he saw growing up. Like, that's a trigger for him. So immediately he was like, dang, she fine. But don't be yelling at your kid. You need to be a better
mother.
Yeah. He's like, you need to be a better mother. Excuse you?
Yes, sit down. Like,
yeah, that's the first meeting. So then they go out, like Liz said. Lala's like, come on, it's my man's birthday. We're going to go do it up for Phantom. They go to the club that Phantom owns. He is a D-boy, by the way. He owns a club.
Ghost.
Notice the
Ghost.
He owns a club. And he works for Phantom. He works for her cousins, Dylan's cousins.
Phantom were Dez and Taz.
Dez and Taz. They're twins. They are
they run everything.
Yeah, and then he's
they got
like
the cops on lock. They got
and then he's like a lieutenant, I guess you would say.
It's like Ghost and Tommy. If you haven't watched
Power, watch it. Together until you said it, and I was like, oh my god, you might be onto something.
Except Tommy with a career outside of illegal activities.
Right. So they go, and then Phantom was telling what's his name? Cass, hey, my little sis is coming, which is Lala's, that's what he refers to, Lala's best friend, which is Dylan. He's like, my little sis is coming, you will like her, she cool. Be nice.
Be respectful, because they all know how he is with his mouth.
Right. And here comes my husband, y'all. Hold, please.
Here's your husband. Here's your husband.
How about you? Yeah. That's his theme song every time he come in here. Because they know.
He's loose with his mouth. Like, how did he get to be
33?
Just because of Phantom.
How'd you get to your Jesus year?
And still have your teeth.
And have a life, as a matter of fact. Because
he's that disrespectful, y'all. Anyway, so even Lala said something to him to be respectful. So,
but it's so funny though, because Phantom called it. He was like, bro, I feel like she's for you. And he was like, girl, man, nobody want time for that. Nobody for her. What you talking about?
So he's sitting there chilling, VIP, drinking, because he's already stressed out. He just found out this chick's pregnant.
Yep.
So then he sees this beautiful angel walk into the club, and he's following her all the way, and he sees her
face.
First, I didn't think he recognized her because he didn't say anything. And then they introduce them, and he goes to say something, and she's like, "Oh, we've met.
We already met." And turns her back.
And then he's like, "Oh, I see you're still not a better mother," or something like that. I was like,
He's like, why you out in the club? You need to be home with your child. Excuse me, sir.
Oh God.
Mind your business.
And the thing is that Taz and Des, who are Phantom's bosses,
and Dylan's cousins,
are Dylan's cousins that took her in when her mama did whatever the hell.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they let her live. I mean, I know that it's because of the love they have for Dylan. But anyway, so basically you don't mess with Lil Sis at all.
Right.
And he just did. So it kind of pops off there because he goes up to her and starts dancing with her. And then
which is the weirdest part because he was like, let me dance with you. And I'm like, for
because he
what?
couldn't resist her. He's like, he's used to Aiden's and Jerry's.
I'm so sorry, y'all. Can we just point out that she is pleasantly plump?
Oh my God.
He loves it.
First of all, when he said, and she waved with her chubby little hand. I was like, damn, I'm a big woman. Like, I don't have chubby little hands. Like, I just pictured a fat little baby hand.
Yeah, he loved it. He was just grabbing on her belly and everything. And I said, come on, God.
Pleasantly plump, because he was like, I don't care that she's over 250.
Come on, God.
I was like,
yes. And he just pick her up and do what he wants to. And I said,
come
on. It was delightful. I thoroughly enjoyed that because, you know, the main character are usually, I feel like Bryce is not pleasantly plump. She's curvy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, not pleasantly.
Yeah. To have a big girl as the main, there's a few books actually that I have where the big girl is the main character.
When he's like all her folds and all her rolls, I was like, yeah. Like, Colette, what are you doing to me?
Yeah, it's great. I loved it. So he says, let me dance with you. And she's like, okay, cool. And then he goes and be disrespectful again because he just can't help himself.
He's mad. He's mad that this, and she checks off all his boxes.
Yeah.
Physically. Like he says it, you know, her height, her weight, her skin tone.
Yeah,
the way she dresses, you know, so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't even remember what he said, but she said something and she cried. And Tez and Daz was not having that. They was about to kill him. And she said that that's how she knew he was crazy because he was sitting there with a smirk like, well, if you take my life, I don't care. And I was like, you are really far gone.
Yeah. And here goes, like, I get it. This actually worked out in her favor. But if we go back through history and take statistics over how many times this Beauty and the Beast trope works, it's not very often. It worked out for her, and I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
But this is where we go wrong. The biggest red flag just happened. This man disrespected you twice. You see he does not care for his life. And you're all like, I'll take him home.
Yes! I know he's drunk. I'll take him home. And then put Phantom in a position where he has to go up against his bosses. Like, please don't kill him. He bugging. Just.
It's the drink and the antidepressants. We won't tell anybody though.
Right. So then, Aiden comes through and tells him he's pregnant. She's pregnant. Oh, we're already past that. So the next scene is she then goes.
Oh no, he calls. He ends up calling. Yes. She leaves and goes to the office.
Yes, and he calls.
Sorry.
And he calls and is crying about losing his mom and his brother is not around and he don't like his daddy because his dad used to beat on his mom, which is why she committed.
And him, because he would stand up to his dad to protect his mom.
And then he said that's another thing that used to bother him with his brother. His brother started playing sports because he didn't want to be in the house. He didn't want to have to fight his dad. He didn't want to see his mama beat up. He couldn't take it. So his out was sports. And as soon as he graduated, he left, went to another state, never saw him again for 20 years. They talk on the phone, but that's it.
And even then, sometimes it's hard to get a hold of him.
Yeah. He wants to avoid it all. Which, I mean, I love that they addressed that later on when he did come to his mom's memorial, because for him, he was like, look, I can't be here. You want me to be here, but I can't be here where my mama died. I don't want to see it. I don't want to remember it. I'm trying to forget it. So he calls and he is just depressed, essentially. And she
she
starts
clicked.
crying. Yeah.
She
And then
clicked
she-
for her, right? He
Yeah.
said
It clicks for her,
something.
like, oh, that's him. Sounds
Yep.
just no. That's not when it clicks. It clicks later
At the
on.
grocery
At the
store.
store. Yeah. So
Next, that's the next scene.
The next scene is Tasha calls her. Tasha is Dylan's mom. Tasha is like, hey, I need you to come over here and come pay these bills. And homie said,
And I owe some people some money.
Yeah, how much money? 10 grand. Mama, you finna die, ho?
10 grand.
I can't help you.
That's
I
like
got
that
it.
Stockholm syndrome shit.
Bro. You on your own.
She goes over there. She goes to the bank, and her mom's like, oh, the guy that I owe the money to will be here when you get back. She goes to the bank. She gets the money out. She gets there. The guy's like, oh, why didn't you just offer me her?
Yes.
And this is where we find out that the mom did that, because she's like, oh, I don't have control over that anymore because she's an adult. I'm like, ew.
And just says it so nonchalantly. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
And he just laughs. And she, not only did she give her the 10 grand, she gave her extra. Then she went to the grocery store
and got her groceries because she had no food in the house.
And that's when she runs into Mr. Rudass.
Yeah. And she said she smelt him. And then she was looking, and he said, what you looking for? I said, you, daddy. I loved it.
The daddy part.
I loved it.
He didn't say the daddy part. But I was like, damn, I wouldn't have said that. I would have been like, not you.
Yeah, but she told him she was looking for him. And he was like,
and from that point, they have like a quick conversation. And he says something that he said on one of the calls, but something very distinct. And she was like, this is him. And now I want him. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to chase him because he is so used to people not having his back and not loving him and not, and walking away and not being there for him, that I'm going to show him. We're not like that. I'm not like that.
And she want to be Captain Save-A-Ho. So.
Is it like that for men too? Like, is it called Save-A-Ho for men too?
It's called Save-A-Ho. Yeah, it's Captain Save-A-Ho for a man. I don't know what you would call it for a woman, but I'm going to use that.
Save-A-Bro? Save-A-Bro?
That's so polite. No.
Yeah, no. You're right. We're gonna come up with something.
Word. Drop it in the comments. What should we call that?
Yes. Yes.
What should we call that?
I don't even know. But so the grocery store. Then she figures it out. After the grocery store.
Yep. She tracks him down and goes to his
shows up at the office.
Yeah.
Zuri calls him and is like, listen, there's someone downstairs that wants to see you. And he was like, oh, nobody has an appointment. Little cranky ass.
Yeah. So he goes and he sees her and she's like, hey, I need to talk to you. And he gives her hand. Come on, boo. Just saying. You knew what you wanted. You over here trying to play hard.
He was like,
I envisioned it in my mind.
Begrudging. He was like not wanting to talk to her, but he could not deny.
Yeah. There was
the
an
physical attraction that he had towards her, or the mental, like there was something about her, whatever.
Yes, because every time he was rude, she would always check him like, hey, you talking to the right one.
And the way she did it though, like I really very classy because
now
just to be honest, I wouldn't have handled it.
Yes.
I would have been like, sir. Not even sir.
I wasn't raised in the hood. I am hood adjacent. Okay. But you would have got all type of F-bombs around here. But she handled it with grace. She was very classy about it. She was very mature about it. Like, hey, you need to learn how to speak to people. But, more.
Yes. Like, don't talk to me like that. Like, it's very soft, but
firm.
Very, yes. So she goes up when she walks into the office and he's like basically asking her like, why are you here? What did you want? She goes straight up to him and kisses him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I never let a woman kiss me. And I'm like, what?
And that's where you start cheesing throughout the whole book.
And that's when they go to dinner after that, and they have the good. He tells her I love. Okay, a little bit off storyline. I love how the author put out there a man, and a black man at that,
Mm-hmm.
that is so into his like talking about his mental issues and how he goes to see a psychologist and how he is taking medicine and showing the struggle with it, because it's easy to be like, oh, he's getting help and he goes to a psychologist and he's so great and he's doing all this stuff, but she also shows the fallback, like going, he drinks a lot because that's how he copes.
Yep.
And she showed that in him working, and how Dylan approached it with such a nurturing and loving energy.
Yes. And that was the only thing that got to me. Like, I love the love story. I love how they were together. But at some point, sometimes I was looking like, it kind of seemed like a trauma bond. You know what I mean?
Yes. And how they looked for sex so much with each other that it's like, but I thought about this too, taking a step back. Let's look at it where these are two people who are highly successful. Money is not an issue. They have all of that handled.
Yeah.
So they have more energy to pour into figuring this shit out quickly and between themselves, in my opinion. Whereas too, when you're not as successful, because they're successful, like money is not an issue. She has a cleaning person coming to her house
she gave her mom $10,000 and that was nothing.
You know, so they don't have to figure out those struggles that most people, when they come together, have to figure out. So I do think it was fast the way they figured everything out, because especially with all the shit that came their way, because it wasn't just that, y'all. Like it was the baby. The mama became crazy. You find out that she's fucking multiple personalities. And let's not forget the security guard. Oh, let's add that little bit of drama in there too. The security guard ends up being her what, Colette?
Her pappy. How, Sway?
And then you're at 92% of the book, and you find out that
Aiden, who is the baby mama, is her pappy's daughter. That is her half sister.
And you find out
having her hand's child. Excuse me?
Then you find out this trick done had 3 kids and gave them all up for adoption. Wasn't even planning on keeping this baby.
She does it so she can get child support. She tries to trap men with money so she can get the child support.
At 92% of the book, you find this out.
You know, I didn't like the dad storyline. I just felt like that was very dismissive of the dad. To me.
Yes.
I just felt like, I don't know, like they were like, you still love her. And it was like, yeah, he only has this idea of her from so
when
long
they were
ago.
Together.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
and you romanticize it. You remember your first love in high school, which when you look back, it's puppy love. There was a lot of drama, a lot of foolishness. They needed to work on things together that they hadn't dealt with. And it's funny that they were psychologists and still hadn't fully dealt with. I'm not going to say they hadn't dealt with it. They hadn't fully dealt with their things. Because he was upset when she was like, why you keep talking to your mom? Leave her alone. Cut her off. And Tez and Daz, the twins, they were not playing with the mama at all. They didn't like her.
We forgot to bring up his dad. He gets out of jail and shows up
to the memorial.
At the mother's memorial. I think it was Dez or Taz, whichever one of the twins.
It was Phantom. He's like, get up out of here.
Oh, yeah, that he really does not care. In the middle of the memorial, threatens him in the community center or church, whatever. I think it was
pulls out a gun.
Center. Pulls out a gun, threatens the dad. The dad's like, oh, I just want to talk. Cassie's like, okay, I want to go. And everybody's like, oh, take Phantom. He's like, I want Phantom. I want my lady.
My baby.
Come on, babe. And they go outside.
Oh, my heart.
And the dad, at first, I'm like, oh my God. like he really wants to
really
have
changed,
a
yeah.
relationship. Then he turns around.
Said,
And-
shut the F up, you fat bitch.
I thought of you, foolishness. Coming out of his mouth.
Foolishness. And that was the wrong thing to do, because that's when Cass snapped.
And Phantom just pop, pop, right there.
Yeah. Cass snapped and beat his little behind. And Phantom was like, hey, get up off him. I ain't got time for this. Bow, bow, bow.
Body just dropped to the floor.
I was like, wait.
Bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit. That's my theme song for this book.
So they go to the dinner. They start hanging out. She was working the night shift. On the night shift. I don't know why that popped in my head. She was working the night shift.
The night shift?
And she was working the night shift because she was short-staffed. So she was helping out. And he sat on the phone with her from what, like 11 p.m. to 6 a.m.? And they worked together. If she had to take her calls, he would put them on mute so that he couldn't hear what she was saying, so that client can have that. And he just worked, and that's where all the butterflies started for me. So he sits on the phone with her as she works, and they develop their relationship. And he meets her son officially and buys him Paw Patrol because that's what he likes. Oh yeah, and when she went to her job that night too, after the dinner and they sat up, I heard this big old teddy bear and some skin.
And she didn't think it was from him.
Yeah,
she thought it was from one of her cousins because they do that for her.
Yeah, and
stuff from her favorite store.
They had a lot of cute moments.
Yes. Oh my God. And all of those gifts were just to apologize for how he came out when they first met.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of moments where I was like, even in my notes, it's like, tee, you know, oh.
What did you call me for? You was like, I just laughed out loud and I was like, I gotta call Colette. What were you reading? What was that part? Do you remember?
No.
It was page 92. I remember that. No, it was page 92. Let's go to page 92.
Okay.
Also, I want to bring up all of the names. How creative of his man thing. Her box, the honey pot, all of those. That's, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's hood novel stuff? Yeah, the box. They say it all the time. No, it's not just that. He gave my donut one last phrasing. Oh yeah, she was very descriptive. I was like, girl. He was tossing me around like a rag doll. I love it. Yeah, toss me around it. What? Hello, chunky self, page 120. I love that he loves her chunky. It's like, that is a constant thing throughout the whole book. He's just like, oh, she's so chunky. I love it. Like, page 78 is where he said the first time he said her chubby. I highlighted it. What page was it? 92. 92 is the dinner. So it's not 92, then it's page 112. 112. I'm not remember the pages you read. And called me about. I don't know, I don't have anything highlighted.
So here's an example of Cass being disrespectful. He's heading to the what's it called? Sonogram, the appointment with Aiden. And he says he pulls up and he sees Aiden outside waiting.
Bro.
And he says to her, this is not a thought, y'all. He's saying it to her. Let me read it to you.
Oh,
Common sense would tell your stupid ass to go inside and wait. Why would you be out here to wait, Aiden? And she says, I was waiting for my baby daddy. What's wrong with that? Don't piss me off, Cassius. He said, bring your dumb ass on, man. I got somewhere to be. That's how he talked to me.
At that point, this is what I mean. Like, at that point, you would talk to me like that. You would never hear from me again. You would never hear from me again. You'd be like, oh. After I cried,
from having your child, I am done. I'm done. But yes, overall, I love this book. I thought it was really, I thought it was written well for it to be such a short read.
I give this one 3.5 because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I gave this one 4 stars. I should let you read From the Hood with Love 1, 2, and 3. I think you will enjoy that more. That's way more hood novel than this one was. Project is a menace, but I love him. As a matter of fact, he gonna be my P for my book bag. Yeah. But it's so funny and outrageous, and it's just, But yeah, I definitely would recommend people to read it. It's a short read. It's not something that is mind-boggling. You can just read it and go. You're entertained. It's
like Napoleon Dynamite. You watch it when you don't want to think about anything but enjoy whatever's on the screen.
Yes.
You're not coming here to read a Pulitzer.
Right.
You're coming here to laugh and be like, what the hell? Like, are you serious? That's what you're going to get from this.
And what did I tell you, Liz, that I love them so much? I said, if this was a Spanish person's book, this would be a TV novella.
Yes.
This is a TV novella for Black folk.
That's a perfect way to explain it, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It's great. I totally loved it. I gave it 4 stars. You gave it 3.5.
I gave it 3.5.
Yeah. But tell us below, have you ever read any hood novels? Do you recommend any good hood novels? I'm always on the lookout for good.
Or any of these nonsense novels.
Yes.
That's what we'll call them.
That's just nonsense, easy, breezy read. Yeah. Yeah. And not nonsense like it's bad. Just
nonsense like you don't have to think.
You need a lot of brain power. Just an easy read.
Okay, so we won't call them nonsense. We'll figure out a name.
Yes. But if you have any of those, please drop them in the link below, or in the comments below, I should say.
Yeah. And just so y'all know, the spice level on this was not as high as I thought.
No, but the first time they had sex, I thought that was so beautifully written because of where she came from.
Anytime that they got physical, like it wasn't one of those books
where they just tried to be incredibly
overly descriptive and like documenting every move made.
Yeah. The first time though.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. That was really beautiful. He was very gentle because he understood where she came from, and the fact that she hadn't had any type of sexual relation once she left out of her mom's house.
Oh, yes, because we forgot to tell y'all, she's a single mother by choice. She had artificial insemination because she wanted to be a mother, but was not ready in her healing process to have a man in her life like that.
Yep.
And when she told Cass that, he was like, I am so sorry. Yeah. And that little boy wanted for nothing. Like he needed nothing, wanted nothing. He had his dad, Des and Taz and Phantom super involved in the little boy's life.
And I love that because Daz was like, that's my nephew.
Oh, let's talk about Lala real quick because I forgot to say it.
Oh, okay.
I loved Lala because she was all about Dylan. And like she was like, give him a chance, talking about Kaz. Like, I think you'll be right for him.
And then turn around and say, don't talk to him, which was really weird.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, girl, what happened? Like, she's literally telling you, like, no, you're right. He loves kids. He's a good guy. Blah, 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 blah. He's
you know what I think it was? I think it was because of what happened at the club, and she saw it, and it was like, okay, don't even worry about it.
That makes sense. But then when she tells you, no, I get your concerns, but no, everything's good now. Like, she should have dropped it then, and then she kept on. But then he was able to respectfully put her in her place when she came over to the house.
I thought it was super cute.
Me too.
He's like, I really enjoyed this. Go talk to her. And then he just roll over. Go to sleep. And then she was like,
for this recommendation.
So sorry.
Yes.
He was like, you're not sorry. It's fine though.
Just go about your business. I'm going to roll over and go back to bed.
Yeah.
But thank you for the recommendation. I really, really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it.
So now I'll read a thriller for you.
I'm so excited. Boo-doo-doo, boo-doo-doo, and I just can't hide it. Boo-doo-doo, boo-doo-doo.
But yeah, I'll read a thriller for you because you know I'm not a thriller girl. Last year, I read this book called The Whisper Man.
You read that?
You read it?
No, I've been wanting to.
It's on KU. Well, it was on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if it's still there.
Is that the one?
Can you see it?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Looks like a butterfly.
Yeah.
The palm part. Any psychologists out there know if that means trauma? No, I'm just joking.
But yeah, so please understand that I'm gonna read this book, and I know you're not gonna give me details, but I'm gonna be calling you every 5 minutes.
That's fine. You're gonna read it right now?
No, I'm just saying whenever you recommend it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pick one that I have not read yet, so we can do this together.
Okay.
Just like the hood novel.
Yes. Yeah. But yes, you guys. So again, thank you for watching. As always, we really appreciate it. We appreciate y'all coming back, liking, subscribing, sharing, following us on Instagram, following us on TikTok. We got a TikTok, y'all.
It has
We only got one post,
but it's on there. But it's on there. It's on there. If you would like to send in any ideas for TikTok,
please holla at your girl.
Just, we're figuring this out as we go.
Pretty much.
We're so grateful for your patience with us.
Absolutely.
And we love you guys. Yes. And Colette is amazing.
Oh, I tried. So is Elizabeth.
Oh, thanks.
Elizabeth be having the bomb earrings. I'm gonna get me big hoops. I just ordered big hoops.
Girl, these were from Target. It was a set of 3. It was like $7.99. Target.
Okay, y'all. We went off.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.